plot and schemes, unraveling truths and chasing dreams.
Rich rising. I see reparations on the horizon. How are you? Happy Sunday. I wasn't supposed to go live until Monday, but I said, okay, let me go live today. There's a couple of new panels that I went into. Every now and then I do like to check the temperature of TikTok and what's on my For You page. Get a feel for what people are talking about. Sit there and kind of enjoy the live since I wouldn't have to mod it, right? So some very interesting things came up. The white people think the indigenous are crazy and having, an identity crisis. And there's the ladies, I swear to God, like I just don't be wrong, And I kept warning everybody about this place. And they literally thought I was pregnant. But I have her on tape being really funny style. So now I gotta show this to the person who pissed me off. Because I was right about the woman he pissed me off about. See how that works, basic? Good morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I'm kind of silly. So it's still technically Women's Month. Tap the screen for me, y'all. It's still technically Women's Month. And so yes, with Women's History Month, we want to showcase the beauty of us. This family photo of Eleanor Bumpurs and her daughter is a beautiful photo. However, they suffered a tragedy. And so we do have to talk about the tragic times that we went through. Eleanor Bumpurs was her mom, and she was unalived by the police, NYFBA. So when everybody says, oh, they're like us, or they're subjugated like us, we do have the exception. Well, let me say this. I recognize Abner Louima's incident with the police, Amadou Diallo, Raham Margie or Grammarly, sorry, he's Jamaican, and Anthony Bias, right? But now let's take Eleanor Bumpurs, let's take Sandra Bland, and this is not to compare, it's just to show we are targeted. And we've always been targeted. And we've been attacked on our land over 60 times, documented. Because I'm pretty sure there's more. And when I listen to the American Indians talk, I know I tussle with them, but they speak of numerous Indian wars that I need to study, right? But I'm so busy with other stuff, and not to diminish that. But yeah, when I first came on here, I was sitting in the American Indians room, they were teaching, just like a lot of our rooms were teaching. But as Basic reminded me this morning, not to derail things, that a lot of the beefs are annoying. So today I figured I'd come up here. I'm probably extend our Women's Month. So this is Eleanor Bumpurs. I'm going to pull up her information, and her daughter was her greatest voice in getting justice for her mom. So that's who you're witnessing there. And I'm going to get the proper name for her daughter because I believe it's Madison, but I want to be sure. Also, I'm going to tell you, me and Malik, I realized there's no Men's Month. Like there's no Men's History Month. There's Black History Month, but that's for everybody, children, women, men. There's Women's Month. We made it Foundational Black American Women's Month. But there's no Foundational Black American Men's Month. So for the month of July, we're going to celebrate you men. How that sound?
Oh, that's cool. I'm with it.
We're going to input some women in there, though. We're going to do black love. But yeah, so this is Eleanor Bumpurs. Did you ever hear of her story, Basic? I got to turn this down.
I don't think so. I don't know. What's her story?
Okay, I'm going to pull it up now because I want to make sure that I have accurate information. Did I have any topics for this? I probably did have topics, but I'll just get right into her history. Yeah. So how was your weekend? You worked?
Yep, I'm working all weekend. I'm actually go to work in a couple of hours.
Wow. Well, you gotta make money, right? I've been up
Yeah.
doing quotes to actions. Okay. I have like a whole outline of topics I want to touch on. I do want to touch on the, on different days. I want to touch on the TPS updates. And also want to touch on, maybe I should go here. The TPS updates, Trump's response about the 14th Amendment. I heard he gave me something new. And there's some other things I wanted to touch on. I'm using Gemini. Gemini is very good. I get the Statue of Liberty that I want. But now I have to find out, because I have so many Gmail accounts, sometimes I just go into Gemini, and then my work will be on another account. So I don't see it here. Let me see if it's here. Nope. Then sometimes it could be Google I'm working on. I'd be a hot mess. I gotta tell you, basically. Any updates on your end? Oh, there he go, Teacup. Besides us being annoying.
Man, this music is so relaxing. It's helping my little migraine already. Ooh, yes.
Why you got
With the beautiful picture of the Black American queens in the back. Hey, queens.
Hey. But this is
Yes, AT. I've been working on the one. So
and what did I always forget?
I said, did you want me to read it to you? What you wanted me to? My homework assignment was. I found it.
Yeah, but is it like strategy? Because if it's strategy, we don't want everybody to know, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's right. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. It was just. Yeah. Okay. You did. I had put some voice messages in there. You probably didn't have time to listen to them yet. You'll listen to them when you can.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, I know, Auntie. So now that I did that, I'll just wait for your response to that. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm pulling up.
What's the topic for today? What brings my TC to the building? I said, what's the topic for today this morning? I said, what brought you to the building?
Cause I didn't really get no sleep and I was up and I was like, just let me go live today.
Yeah, that's nice. Like bringing a good morning. You know how, it's like the good music. It's soothing my little headache. I'm finna lay down and listen to the tunes while you talk.
Well, you may not do much, man. And there go her name right there, basically. Why you didn't tell me her name was
and
right
go
there,
on mute.
Okay. So the prompt is based off of Eleanor Bumpurs and her daughter Mary Madison. So we do know that New York does have a police brutality issue, right? So actually this story is one of love, the love that a child has for their parent. However, her mom, was unalived by the NYPD. So we're going to touch on her story today because yes, it is Women's Month. And we're glorious and stuff, and we have a lot of triumphs, a lot of achievements. We made a lot of contributions, but we also had tragedies. So I just want to bring this back to the forefront. While we are celebrating and delineating and standing on lineage business against the Africans, and the Caribbeans, because they involved in the Asians too. We still have, our issues with the police department. So this is what it says is Eleanor Bumpurs was a 66-year-old disabled grandmother unalived by the NYPD in 1984 during a botched eviction. Her daughter Mary Bumpurs became the primary advocate and face of the family's fight for justice. Though the name Madison does not appear in historical records as one of her children. So it says the life and unaliving of Eleanor Bumpurs. Eleanor Bumpurs was a foundational Black American woman born in 1918 in North Carolina. She moved to New York during the Great Migration and raised 7 children as a single mother. By 1984, she was living in the Sedgwick houses in the Bronx, struggling with severe health issues, including arthritis, diabetes, and mental health challenges. The incident took place on October 29, 1984, facing eviction over 4 months of unpaid rent, totaling about $394. Eleanor was confronted by the NYPD's Emergency Service Unit. The pursuing, despite being 66 years old and disabled, officers broke down her door. They claimed she threatened them with a kitchen poker, Officer Stephen Sullivan fired 2 pews from a 12 gauge. First hit her hand and the second hit her chest, unaliving her instantly. The legal outcome. Officer Sullivan was indicted for second-degree manslaughter, but was ultimately acquitted in 1987. The family later settled a civil suit with the city for $200,000. And then it goes into her daughter's role. It says the role of her daughter, Mary Bumpurs. While your query mentions Madison, historical records and recent scholarships, such as LaShawn Harris's 2025 book, tell her story. Identify her daughter, Mary Bumpurs, as the central figure in the aftermath. Madison might have been her middle name. I'm saying could have been her middle name, or even her marriage name if she was married. So, public advocacy. Mary was the first family member to learn of the unaliving and became the media spokesperson. She led citywide protests and worked tirelessly to ensure her mother was not remembered merely as a disturbed woman, but as a beloved grandmother. Legacy. Mary's activism helped spark an early wave of the anti-police brutality movement in New York, specifically highlighting the intersection of race, aging, and mental health. A note on the name Madison. There's no prominent record of a daughter named Madison in the Bumpurs case. It is possible you may be thinking of Madison Brooks, a 2023 case involving a young woman unalived after a sexual assault, or perhaps a different family member. However, in the context of Eleanor's lineage in the 1984 case, Mary is the daughter who carried the mantle of advocate. Do I have anything else? Yeah, I do. And then it says historical significance. The unaliving of Eleanor Bumpurs remains a foundational case for advocates of reparative justice and police reform. It exposed how the state failed to provide adequate social services for elderly FBA citizens, choosing instead to meet a housing and mental health crisis with militarized force. And then it says, would you like to look into the specific details of the grassroots organizations Mary Bumpurs helped form during that time? Let's see. I'm going to say yes, y'all. Any thoughts, y'all? Anything you want to interject before I continue? It's pulling up the results. Hi, Phenom. Are you still in the room? Go ahead. Keita?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Auntie, I was gonna say, go ahead, baby, you can go.
Yeah, so she was an elderly lady when this happened to her.
It said
Yes,
disabled too.
66.
Wow, that's crazy. I know, but you asked me earlier. I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Me neither, Auntie, and that's crazy. Like, what could a 66-year-old disabled woman do with police? But that's what I told you. When they came for me, a single woman, I don't know what this man told me, but they came 4 cops deep, 3 men and a lady. Like, what in the hell? Like, they over. I don't know what kind of, but I guess that we got Wonder Woman super strength to these people because even for us women, see, are disabled. He had to unalive her with a pew pew, a big 12 gauge. Is you cool for a disabled woman? What's wrong with you? She not a bear, an animal, a lion coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand that. I mean, we are strong, but I think that I don't know what the hell. I never, white people don't even give me that smoke where I never had to put my hands on them like that. But they always, you know what I'm saying? They act like we just like can rip them with our bare hands. Maybe we can we?
The majority of them can't fight too good. The women, you know.
You
And
said what?
most of them, if they're from, if they're the low income ones, yeah.
Hey, you
But
remember
other
you
ones
remember
now are taking some
that black
classes.
woman that beat up that white cop and he was wrestling with her. She was giving him a run for his money. He was sweating and moving and stuff. I said, boy, I tell you, these folks is crazy. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But to just unalive her is a mess. And stuff like this is important. I was only 4 years old when this happened.
As you can see, my my that's supposed to be like the scales of justice, I think. And I put Africa is not our voice, neither are the Caribbeans. Like we don't need them advocating for us on no level. So I think as we move forward, we have to implement in our reparations proposals that the cops who come out for mental health calls should be trained in mental health, right? Because in New York they'll be documented. Mhm. Should be documented. And also in New York, the police have to come out first if you call for mental health. Like the ambulance, say somebody's having an episode, the police come out first. The ambulance, the workers, the EMTs won't get out the car until the police come. And they don't come in a caring manner. They come with like the what you call those, the shields?
What they call them in prison?
Riot gear?
Riot gear. Yup, there you go.
Right. So I think, especially for our elders, you never know if she was going through dementia or something at the time. She was 66. Good morning, Eagles. So we don't know what type of mental health she had, if she even had mental health. She could have just been an outspoken elder, and they took that a different way, you know?
Crazy. But this what I wanted to say too, AT. When I was walking down the street coming from the UN building, right, on my way back to the West End to wait for the ride car share the thing that we had was using. Why the heck it was just some type of immigrant sitting on the side. I'm talking about in the Indian style, ding 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 ding, loony as I don't know what, right? And it's like, how did he get here? What is wrong? Like he just sitting there looking like like you could tell something. And I'm like, what, they just leave people like this right here? Like, why is he even here if this is his condition? Why would they allow somebody over here like this? And this is what he doing in our country, sitting here looking like and it's too many people in New York, they don't even notice him. So everybody passing him by, and I'm like, this is how little girls or whoever, you like, what if he snap out of something and just turn, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is this person? Like, get him where he supposed to
Yeah.
be at.
So here's the thing with New York, right? When we say that people choose to be homeless, they do have services where they try to take them off the street, right? But there's a lot of that going on. You just seen one. So if you take the trains during a certain time, you're liable to see a mentally ill person.
Oh my God.
I-
That's
And, and,
scary.
and right. And also, remember when they did that Stop Asian HATE and they had black people and they say, oh, they attacked Asian? Those people didn't look foundational to you, right? Because they did look to me.
No, they didn't. They look like them little things that was walking through here. I go to Ohio, Udigi, Ooga Booga. That.
Right, right. But that's what I believe they were, but mentally ill. And then at that time, we weren't on the delineation train. So they got lumped in with black, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy word. Yep. All the
Hey,
pieces
Janae.
are coming together. You know what I mean? It's just like we just like look at this here. It's a mess to clean up. We gotta find all these sleeper cells that's around here. Like it's just a mess, man. You know, like goodness gracious.
So I want to shout out Eagles fan. He was a donor towards Keisha's prepare and her
Rich
expenses.
Risings family, thank you so much.
Yeah. So when I first started going live, I did have a segment dedicated to elderly and reparations because I noticed when we talk about reparations, we don't speak about the elders. And I know that a lot of times some of us are upset with the elders, right? Oh, they're stuck in the ways. They can't do this. They won't do that. They won't bend, but they still need to be taken care of, right? And we don't. So
Yeah, we can't let them. We got to do our elder youth. We got to do our um veterans. That we got to like ours FBA. Like we
yeah,
just got to take care of our whole lineage. We don't care who it is, what's going on. We got to figure out a way to still make it work. We got to take care of our own community. We got to get back to community and like checking on each other and stuff like that.
yeah. So I did research on what would the elders need, and there were things that they felt discriminated in. They felt discriminated when going to the doctors. They primarily, and this has to be for diverse cities, I guess, like New York, Washington, probably Atlanta, places like that, or in the assisted living care. So if you're, I think it's assisted living centers or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, Auntie. In my place, they have assisted living apartments, assisted living facilities. It's different thing. It's different stages of assisted living. They like have ones that you can live at by yourself, like apartments, but you get assistants. They come in, or they have like whole facilities where you actually have a nurse the whole shift, like you in a
I think I'm talking about the one that where the nurses the whole shift in the facility.
okay facilities. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So they feel discriminated there too. And then they're
And
in
group
food
homes
benefits.
too. Group homes.
Right. So my proposal package for them to address those three things was primarily, and then I was saying for assisted living facilities, they need therapy, right? Because sometimes our elders are cranky, and it's not because of the drugs or even liquor, but they're ornery. This is a major change for them, and they're outspoken. Eagles fan says, I think that is a multi-layered problem, right? And so what they need are people who can relate to them, like us. So we need to staff us, and they need a transition counselor for the family too, because family will face guilt. Maybe somebody has more kids in those ways. It's because I know in New York, that's how it works sometimes. Sometimes. My grandmother looked up because she has a daughter that was in social services. Well, she had more than one daughter in social services. But one worked for the main hospital that services the Bronx, which is Montefiore. So and she's a social worker. So she was able to get my grandmother hospice care. So she pretty much transitioned at home, but she was in familiar surroundings with her family. And everybody knew, don't touch my grandmother, right? So, and then me on my
Yeah,
auntie was
familiarity
able.
is so much better, but when you can't, you want to make it as comfortable as possible, right?
Another proposal was not Meals on Wheels, but now they're having like motorized buses. Like they'll literally convert a school bus into like a refrigerated type of thing, and they could carry that this fresh produce, fruit, meat, stuff like that. As far as the doctors, they need our providers, right? But in the event that they can't, they're gonna need a case manager to make sure that the doctor's fine. Stuff like that was my proposals because I did do my proposals for the elders. But I'm gonna get back to Eleanor Bumpurs. I just kind of wanted to because she was said to have mental health,
That was a good
and she
idea.
did have so many children. And living in New York, you get busy. You might be working a job or two, and then you have your children too. So, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm. That was good
Yeah.
ideas, though. That's good points, though. You know. All right, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Thank you. Basic, did you give your thoughts yet?
Yeah, you mean on Miss Eleanor?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's another case of how much and how many of our people went through certain things that a lot of us are not aware of. And I actually had this conversation yesterday. It got kind of heated. This was a conversation I had in person, and it was one of our own. He's younger, and he was kind of like, he made a statement that I didn't appreciate. He basically said that the only reason he would consider what happened to us worse than what happened to the small hat people is because it happened to, like, we went through what we went through longer than them. And I had to let him know that, dude, you have no idea. Like, you just don't know all the things that you don't know for you to say something like that. And it's stories like this, and a lot of other stories that we don't know, because not everything got recorded. But the things that did get recorded, like I tell people, 9 times out of 10, the stories, like the conditions and everything, is way more dark than what was published, and people need to understand it. So I think this is just another example that a lot of things happen to our people, no matter how young they are, how old they are. They did a lot of things to our children as well as our elderly. Um, so yeah, I think at the end of the day, our people just have to realize that a lot of stuff can't be forgiven. I know we have we have a lot of forgiving people. Um, I'm not one of those people. I'm not a forgiving person, especially when it comes to them. I, so that's why I'm so pro separation. I believe our people really need to adopt the mindset that we need to be separated. That's the only real way that we're going to be able to take care of our people the way that we want to take care of our people, our elderly, and all this. The more we're integrated into these other people's culture and system and communities, it's going to be much harder for us to actually take care of our people the way that we want to. And I'll land there.
So I just want to say hi to everybody entering the room. I see y'all, but Basic was talking. If y'all want to join, we're talking about. It's still technically Women's Month. Uh, the lady on the prompt is Eleanor Bumpurs and her daughter Mary. Mary became Eleanor's advocate after she was unalived by the police. So I'm just telling their stories because we still have to talk about the tragedies that our community faces. Eleanor Bumper was 66 years old. She did live in New York. She suffered from like arthritis, diabetes, and they say mental health conditions. And so the police pupilled her with a 12 gauge. You know what I'm saying? And they said it was because she had a poker, a kitchen poker. Okay, so then it's,
But that's
huh?
what a lot of our women travel with, right, for protection. Because my grandmama would have like a blade or like they used to call her switch. I don't know if I can say that. Like, but like women would do that because they would be like by themselves. So she probably didn't have it for the police. She probably had it because she probably was walking home or on the subway, and she just wanted to make sure that she could do something if she needed to protect herself. Because she, guess what, was working 2, 3 jobs, like you said, right? Right.
No,
So
by
that was
that
like
time she wasn't working those jobs. I'm
okay.
saying, that the elders, like say, I kind of switched topics there. And so maybe the children of the elderly who will go into assisted living is working more than one job or have a family and don't have space for the elder. So the family does need some type of transition and counseling. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
too. Well, I don't know. Maybe the lady just had it on for protection. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I
She
think she
living
was
in New York.
home. So you never know what she was doing, cooking or something.
Cooking. Who
And I'm
knows?
going to tell you something. By my door, it's like we improvise here because we can't, we have very strict pew laws. So a lot of us will improvise and strategically place um, what could be used as a weapon around a house. Right? We can't be so foolish to think we could live in certain areas and nobody might not try nothing. Sometimes people knock on the door and do have the wrong door.
Yeah.
So, and
Sometimes
that has
not.
happened before to me. So, and then it's like one day somebody was trying to open it. They literally had the wrong door, right? So they had to go 2 houses down. But I guess that lady lets them just walk in her house. And they went to twisting up my doorknob and stuff, trying to get in my house. So, you never know. What if I left my door unopened and he came in? I don't know what type of person he was.
Right, scary, right? Though, why would you walk past and twist somebody's doorknob? That is so weird. Whether like that is, it's not your doorknob, but since you know people do that, that's why you always have to keep your door locked. And you know what I'm saying? I don't care where you at. I be telling my kids that sometimes they forget to lock my front door. We in the store. I don't give a damn if we was in what burbs we in. That's the where it happened fast too, where motherfuckers will twist your door. You feel me? In the burbs, like right. Like, what is he talking about? If you don't lock my damn door at all times, stop playing with
Sometimes when
me.
they lose the key.
Ah, well,
It's
then when you lose the
okay.
key, you just gonna have to become a knocker then, or you better go get you another key made.
Right. So then it says, following the unaliving of Eleanor Bumpurs, her daughter Mary Bumpurs and the wider community formed several grassroots organizations that became the blueprint for modern anti-police brutality advocacy, focusing on the protection of vulnerable foundational Black Americans. Then it goes on and it says grassroots organizations and mobilization. The 1984 unaliving of Eleanor Bumpurs did not just spark a local protest, it ignited a structured political response in New York City. Mary Bumpurs was at the forefront of these efforts, often joining forces with other families who had lost loved ones to state violence. The Eleanor Bumpurs Justice Committee. This was the primary vehicle for the family's advocacy. It wasn't just a legal support group, it was a community-based education hub. Purpose: to raise funds for the legal battle against Officer Stephen Sullivan and to ensure the media did not dehumanize Eleanor as mentally ill to justify her unaliving. See? And then it says impact. They organized massive rallies in the Bronx and at City Hall, forcing the city to reckon with how the NYPD handled emotionally disturbed persons, which they shortened to the acronym EDP, to those type of calls. The United African Front, UAF. While Mary focused on her mother's specific case, she often stood alongside leaders of the United African Front, an umbrella organization that mobilized during the mid-1980s. Context: the group linked the Bumpurs case to other incidents such as the unaliving of Michael Stewart and the Howard Beach racial attack. Legacy: they practiced a form of lineage-based solidarity, emphasizing that FBA elders like Eleanor deserve protection from the state, not subsidized violence. Then they had the Families for Justice. In the years following the 1987 acquittal of the officer, Mary Bumpurs helped lay the groundwork for what would become Families for Justice mission, a support network for stolen lives, families who had lost children or parents to police or pew fire. Focus: they moved beyond individual cases to demand systemic changes such as the creation of the Civilian Complaint Review Board with actual subpoena power. Though this remains a point of advocacy today. Okay, so now they go to policy shifts forced by advocacy. The pressure from Mary Bumpurs and these grassroots groups led to immediate, though often criticized, changes in NYPD protocol. The Bumpurs Rule: a change in how officers handled evictions involving elderly or potentially disabled residents requiring a supervisor and specialized equipment like nets or shields to be present before breaking down a door. Mental health response. It initiated the first real public debate in New York City about whether police should be the primary responder to mental health crises. That hasn't changed. They still are first responders. Mary's enduring message. Mary Bumpurs' advocacy was rooted in the idea that her mother was a citizen with rights who had survived the Jim Crow South only to be unalived by the state in the North. Her work ensured that Eleanor Bumpurs is remembered as a symbol of the fight for the dignity of the FBA community. And that's where, because I think I'm like kind of straining to read it, so I wanted to do it some justice. We could always pick up. Let me tell you the question they asked if I want to look into. Would you like me to find specific transcripts or historical quotes from Mary Bumpurs regarding her mother's legacy for your advocacy research? You know what? We can look at the quotes. You type yes. Yes, do quotes. Let's see. And then it says, Mary Bumpurs was the voice of the family, and her quotes reflect a shift from personal grief to a broader advocacy for the FBA community, emphasizing that justice meant ensuring no other mother suffered the same fate. Direct quotes from Mary Bumpurs. Mary Bumpurs often spoke about the dehumanization her mother faced and the empty feeling of the legal system. Here are some of her most poignant statements. On the quest for justice, the Lord doesn't stand for us. All I want is some justice, and I'm in this battle to the very end. We have to keep it going so people don't forget, because just like it was my mother, it could have been someone else's mother. And there's a source, Unity, October 1985, 1 year after the unaliving. Then a quote on her mother's legacy. When asked by historian LaShawn Harris, author of Tell Her Story, to define her mother's legacy, Mary consistently answered with a focus on prevention, to keep her spirit moving, to let people know what happened to her, no more people unalived by police. And then it has a source, repeated statement in interviews from 2017 through 2025. Okay, Mary is still alive. Wow, as of 2025, right? On the support of the community, Mary recognized that she couldn't fight the city's legal machine alone. She credited the grassroots organizers for giving her the strength to continue. The Eleanor Bumpurs Justice Committee is where the backbone is coming from, now steadily staying on the case. Unity Archive Project, and then they have listed key things in her advocacy. Mary Bumpurs' public statements usually centered on 3 specific pillars that align with lineage-based advocacy: humanization, accountability over settlement, the Madison mystery. See? Oh, wait, what happened? All right, let's see. Let's go over to the top. So with humanization, it says she fought against the NYPD's narrative that her mother was just an emotionally disturbed person. She constantly reminded the public that Eleanor was a grandmother who loved cooking for her children and had survived the Jim Crow South. Accountability over settlement. While the family eventually settled for $200,000, Mary's public rhetoric, they use that word, remained focused on the fact that no amount of money could replace a life. She often pointed out that the acquittal of Officer Sullivan reinforced the concept that Black lives are not of any value to the cops. The Madison mystery. Okay, they put this here. I performed a deep search of historical records, including recent scholarly work from 2025, and there still is no mention of a daughter named Madison. They don't realize this could be her middle name. Mary was the public face, and her brother was often mentioned in passing. It is highly likely Madison may be a name conflated from a different case or more. I think that was her middle name. Historical context for your advocacy. Eleanor Bumpurs' case is often cited as a turning point because it was one of the first major anti-police brutality campaigns in New York City, specifically centered on a black woman. Before this, much of the advocacy focused on young men like Michael Stewart. Mary Bumpurs ensured the world knew that FBA women, especially elders, were also targets of state-sanctioned violence. Oh, and Mary had a demand list. And this was the Koch administration. Not sure if y'all heard of Edward Koch before. Would you like me to find the specific demand list that Mary and the Justice Committee presented to the Koch administration? You might as well. Hello. Okay, so Eagles fan
Hello.
says mainstream media doesn't help either. Yeah. Go ahead, Keto.
Yeah, I had stepped away, Auntie. I had to go get my son thing, so I heard you, but I'm like, dang it, I missed what she said. I had to step away from my phone for a second. What you want, little boy? See, he right here again.
How's he doing?
He doing fine. Let me let you speak to him. Hey.
Hey,
This your VX, I'm just in New York.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's
I'm
good.
okay. Thank you for asking.
We got his treatment tomorrow, so tomorrow we only down to 4 more months. So he get we down to 4 more.
So, I
2
think
months.
6 more, right?
2 more, no, 4 more.
Oh yeah, because about the
This your
April,
last one, right? This your last one for this month right here.
for March, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. That's good news.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so Laura Nicole has the prayer hands up and the heart hands, and she's giving the claps. Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
rooting for you.
Thank you. We appreciate all the support. Ever since the beginning.
And Basic has is that an orange heart? Like a rust color heart up for y'all. And
Okay.
then Eagles fan says my daughter is up to he got this. That's what Eagles fan says.
Right. I remember Eagle fan sharing his story about his daughter. So, absolutely, exactly. They got this. Hey, they told I got some. Somebody told me it's like God always have some for special people because it was like you think about it, but it's like that special one that went through something. They always turn out to be something so amazing and great. So I know this is just this little thing. They like he might be the president of the United States down the line. I'm like, you know what? You might be right.
Yeah. And hopefully he'll remember his auntie from the Bronx and give her a bedroom in the White House, just for herself to get and
Girl,
I'll get pampered and stuff, and we'll allow Keita to come get pampered with me.
okay, hold it down because I got stuff to do out in these streets. You keep pushing me in the right direction because we got to make sure we clean up all these streets and
Yes,
towns
we gotta clean the
and
streets up. But congratulations to Solon Nicole. She says I'm a 5-year survivor, and she says to your son, "You got this." With the hug
wow.
emoji.
Hey, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
Remission,
congratulations.
remission is our mission. Remission is the mission for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Basic, you
Auntie,
have
I
any
ain't want to
thoughts?
change the subject, but we was talking about police brutality, right? And
Yeah.
the one I wanted to talk about, I know it's Women's Month, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I want to sprinkle in some of our men too, because I love black love, right? So I just wanted to talk about the police unaware of black people and how their lack of care is. Did you hear about the one with the man who this man was a good worker, never in no trouble, nothing in the law, right? The police see him wandering down the street. So instead of them calling the ambulance, trying to see what was going on with him, what was wrong, the first thing they do, oh, he's a criminal. Rough him up, lock him, put him in handcuffs, put him in the back of the car. Take him there. They asking him what's wrong with him. He like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, you could just the way you be looking like, okay, is you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? But no, they didn't think that. They assumed like criminal. We don't care. I don't even want to take time to see what's wrong with you. They took the man to the dang on lockup, Had him in there for I don't know how long. The man then just fell down on the floor. He like convulsing in his body, going all crazy, urinating on himself. They left him there. And guess what? He was having a stroke the whole time. If they would have took him to the hospital, he would have survived.
Oh, man.
That's why he was delirious. He didn't know where he was, who he was, where he was at. Like, what's your name? I don't know. Where was you on your way to? I don't know. If somebody keeps saying that to you, what you mean? You're not going to take them to go see what's wrong with them if they don't know, right? He a grown-ass man. And he had on, like, his jacket, because I think he worked for, like, UPS or he worked for something like that, like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Ain't
saw
that
that
crazy?
story. I saw
You
that.
saw that story?
Yep.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, I think I saw it on. I think I saw it on here. Matter of fact, I think I saw it on TikTok.
But once again, the police didn't get in charge. Nobody, I don't know if nobody got neglect. It's just like, like they didn't want to write up a report. So they just rather not deal with it, right? That is so crazy to me. And it's like, what is the punishment for neglect, right? Because if you work in a job and you in that kind of place and you neglect people like that go on your record and you are labeled as a neglectful person that can't take care of people. So I think police should be like labeled that way too. If you make inhumane decisions as an officer, that should be strikes and you should get fired for that, right? For sure.
For sure. Thank you so long. I guess it sounds horrible, right? But I've been taking some honey. I don't want to drink this tea for some reason.
You don't like the tea?
It's Lipton.
Oh no, I took drink loose tea. That Lipton, the bag tea is not good for us. We need to drink the loose tea that we can see. They said they don't know what's in the bag teas. And they be growing mold in the inside of them and stuff. They have been had them for years, so I'm done with bag tea. But I do loose tea.
Oh, that's scary.
But you, BX, you sick or something?
Just force.
You don't hear my voice?
Yeah, I thought that was just
I
when you
don't know
yelling or
if I'm
something.
sick, but I'm real. My neck, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I did a lot of walking because I did do a lot of walking, but I don't feel sick. But I'm like, dang, maybe I should take me some airborne or something. I don't know. I feel like I think I should take some airborne and vitamin C.
Yeah, your body's not used to this all congested New York City and all these other germs and stuff.
I
I
took
would
an
take
Epsom salt bath last night, but for some reason I'm like, oh my, I want to take another one.
your pictures look nice. Hi, Chichia. Hey,
Which
Tony.
one? Which ones you talking about, Auntie?
All of them. You was in front of Trump Towers. I think you was by
Oh
some.
yeah. Trump works.
You was by a park. There's
Central
somebody in
Park.
the back.
Central Park, where I told you to domestic that duck. That's the one. It didn't do the whole video because I kind of chopped it up because the videos would have been longer. So I'd be trying to do my little thing right. But that was the domesticated duck. I'm gonna have to send you the video for you to see him. He walked straight up to me, like looking like, you got some bread? Then the pigeon was just like right by my foot, like, what's up, girl? You got some bread? You got some crumbs? You got something? Like they real domesticated, like cats and dogs.
They bold.
I
That's
never
all.
seen like the duck was not scared. Like he was walking up to me like, yo, what's
That's
up?
why
You
I said
good?
they bold. Even the
Yes.
squirrels. I'd be
He
like,
showed me
why
his little
did
feet. He wanted me to see his little web feet. He like, girl, you see my feet? Like, yeah, you like my walk. You like the way I strut. Like he was chilling. I was like, I never seen that in Michigan. They will run, right?
uh,
Because ducks don't stick around. No birds. But I
right.
never seen birds and like animals like that. That's just okay being around humans like that. That's when you know it's a lot of people there and they're used to people, obviously.
Yeah, and the people probably feed them, and that's what they was waiting for. Thought they had to do some tricks for you to feed them.
Girl, he was ready. He was ready to show his little leg and do everything. He didn't care. He's like, what I gotta do for $1? I mean, a piece of bread.
Thank you, Solon. I see a chamomile, echinacea, or mullein, Tony, I'm good. Thank you, Eagles. So, I guess we could do this last part, and maybe if y'all want to bring something else up, we can. So then this says the EBJC's demands to the Koch administration, 1984 through 1985. After the unaliving, Mayor Ed Koch commissioned a report that largely absolved the NYPD. In response, Mary Bumpurs and the EBJC presented a clear set of counter demands that shifted the focus from accidental tragedy to systemic failure. Moratorium on all evictions. The EBJC partnered with the National Lawyers Guild to demand an immediate halt on evictions for senior citizens and low-income tenants. The argument: Eleanor was unalived over a $394 rent dispute about 1 month behind. The committee argued that no amount of debt justified a militarized entry into a private home. Full criminal indictment and prosecution. While the city wanted to settle the matter as a procedural error, the family and the committee demanded that Officer Stephen Sullivan be tried for second-degree manslaughter. The outcome: due to intense grassroots pressure, Sullivan was eventually indicted, though he was later acquitted in a bench trial, dismantling the ESU response for civil matters. They demanded that the NYPD's Emergency Service Unit, ESU, which arrived with shotguns, shields, and plexiglass, never be used for civil evictions. The advocacy: they argued that evictions are a housing and social service matter, not a tactical police operation. Community-led mental health intervention. The committee demanded that mental health professionals and peers, not armed officers, be the primary responders to wellness checks and EDP, emotionally disturbed person calls. Lineage insight. They pointed out that the city's psychiatrist had recommended Eleanor be hospitalized after being evicted, essentially treating her homelessness as a prerequisite for care. The EBJC demanded this practice be abolished. Okay, we don't need to go into the Madison name again. Historical quote for my files, they say, for your files. One of the most powerful slogans used by the EBJC in the flyers to the Koch administration was, Eleanor Bumpurs' 12-gauge eviction. The city owes a debt it can never pay. Okay, and that's it. They was asking if I wanted them to draft like an advocacy brief that would connect Bumpurs to today's legislative goals of FBA.
And this is what I say. I don't know
That
if we're
was
gonna be
having
able
on her mother's work.
right. And this is what I say. I don't know. Well, we working on a HATE bill, but until then, we got to start insurancing ourselves. We got to start making our lives valuable, right? So maybe like the more value we put on our life and our name, and they know that we have value attached to us, we're more less likely to be just taken out. And we got to like do it for our families, like our kids, our daddy, mama. Like make sure if they do something to us, they got to pay. You know? Because it's going to be required for an autopsy. Insurance companies usually require you to do an autopsy off rip. Like, ain't none of this. And if they don't like what they say, they're going to do another one, right? Because insurance companies going to be looking like, why I got to pay for this anyway, right? So then now the more they looking like, okay, well, we see this certain academic of people that's being harmed, and we trying to figure out the way. So that could put more pressure on them to start, until they give us our crime bill or protective class or whatever, like the small hats is. Like if you sneeze too bad by them, they're gonna, do something like they're delicate or something. So we need to be just as delicate. Our lives need to be like make value.
Look, she says I work in insurance. Chichia, so you work in, okay, so Chichia says the issue with that is they will eventually legalize exclusions for such matters.
And see, that's bull. How can they do that, right? Because life should be valuable. Like that don't make no sense. There's nothing we can do to put value on our life. That's retarded. That doesn't. That's oh Lord Jesus. You know, see, it's always a way
Well,
to a loophole.
so the thing is, the way that we can put value on our lives is by separating. Um, I get it. Sometimes I feel like certain things that we want to do. To me, it's just really feeding into their system. Once we remove ourselves and we take and put our value into our own people, into our own things, and we take it away from them, I guarantee you'll start seeing a lot of changes. Because this place is it's just all about capitalism. They care about wealth, and Black Americans, we have made this nation extremely wealthy. So us separating and doing our own thing, that's the answer to all the problems, in my opinion.
Exactly. So Chichia says, oh, who said Rich Rising? Honey, Faye, Rich Rising. So listen, Chichi says it's not a solution, but still everyone should have insurance. Eagles fan 71 says, well, we do it until that becomes a thing. I was thinking about the same thing Eagles fan was thinking, but I have a question for Chichia. Sometimes you know what it is, Kita? It's not a matter that we won't get the insurance. It's a matter of, I would say, a monthly bill every time. I don't know what the premiums are now, but also preconditions. Preconditions of the
Right.
insurance. Huh?
They do have some that's non-preconditions, but I don't know how good that insurance really is on the payout. So I don't know if it's good to recommend. They do have insurance out here that say no pre-authorization required. You know, whatever. But I don't know exactly how. Like Colonial Life or something like that. You know, you ever seen some commercials?
But you just
Or
got to be a certain age.
yeah, you just got to be a certain age, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so it is some that don't a lot that don't make you go get a doctor's a checkup, a physical.
So, you know what?
But I think you have to pay into them so long. Like you got to at least do 5 years, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? You can't
My
just be like
goodness.
something like that. I think.
So I was gonna say, as we push for reparations, but I don't want to wait for reparations, right? Because we're doing it state by state,
No,
and
right.
some
We need to
states
figure out
aren't even.
insurance now. Yeah, we need to make ourselves valuable before reparations. So when we
Yeah,
get reparations, they don't want to try to do something to them to take it back.
but wait. That's not because I'm saying like everything specifically just for us. Like right now, how would we go about that? But if we could get together a list of all the ones who don't require like the medical check and stuff, the age requirement, that'd be good because we've got to
Okay, I
start
can do
giving
something
our
on that.
people, huh?
I said I
Our
can look up
people.
a couple and see what I can come up with. So that's no problem. I can do that too.
Yeah, because we've got to start giving the resources to people. Because if you hear, well, we primarily think that now. Maybe I primarily think that, but I'm not. I'm not. Am I mindful? No. So somebody else might have the same thought. Well, I can't get insurance because I have preconditions. So it'd be good just to start having these type of resources to the
Yeah, I ain't
people.
gonna lie. I had one for my grandma. It was like 15,000, right? But you like once you on there for a minute, they'll let you go up more if you good on your payments and stuff like that too, you know. So I'ma get that information.
Yeah, my cousin had one for her mom, and she said it came in handy. With you know after expenses. Yeah. So is there anything y'all want to touch on today? I think me and Keita need because we got these projects. I'm giving homework. Keita's doing the homework. Basic. I don't know when's the last time you did some homework.
Mhm. Yeah,
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 she said, huh? Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead and give me some more homework. I'm gonna do it this time.
Okay. So I do have some things, some prompts made. I have one for economics. I have one for to give y'all the update on the TPSs. Like, I don't know, you want to pick a homework? You could pick a woman who was an economist or something.
You
To
said
be
a woman that
creative.
was in Congress?
I said economist, like a
Oh, an
real good
economist.
economist. No, but the woman that you pick is your choice. I don't think
Okay.
anybody but me and Keita. Who else did anybody else do the power couple?
Dred was
Keita?
supposed to do one. Nope. I did miss a couple of your things. Remember, I think did I miss a couple of your lives? I don't even think I missed the last one. I think I made them all. No, only me and you. Yeah, we the only one who did our homework.
Yeah, yeah. We talked. Yeah.
But we don't let Basic slide because Basic did ask for an extension. Remember the last time he was here because he was busy. So, Brother Basic, we're going to let you slide on this one, but you can't keep it to your homework. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when the next time you go on live, BX?
Well, tomorrow was Monday. I did tell some other people I was going live Monday, so I gotta go live Monday.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off tomorrow, so
What's
that's
up,
cool.
people? What's up, BX? What's
Yeah,
up,
and I don't
family?
need no more
Hey.
homework, AT, because I still got to do the homework that you already gave me. So let's let
No,
somebody.
you have a medical reason.
A little bit, yeah. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
tomorrow, yeah. But no, I'm gonna be tuned in because I'm gonna be woke. But I'm gonna talk to you about the homework assignment we got on the back end. So I'm just saying I ain't need no new homework assignment. Let's let some other people do their power couple and their woman of the month because the month is almost over with and we haven't heard enough positive women. You know, ain't he been
Yeah,
doing all the work?
no problem. Hi, FBA soldier, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just finished doing some research and this whole Ghanaian president with this reparations scam is starting to unravel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, do you know that when the president of Ghana was standing over our ancestors' grave sites, talking about he wants reparations from the European nations, from the slavers and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
his vice president was still in Ghana signing a deal with the EU, the descendants of the enslavers, to strengthen their military powers, basically letting the EU into the back door to kind of thwart what's going on with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger.
So they're about to unalive Traore?
I'm sorry.
So you think they do you think they're about to unalive Traore?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that um, the EU is now using Ghana to kind of because what's happening in that region with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, like Ghana is like 45 minutes away from those regions. So Ghana is afraid that those military coups that broke away from the Western powers is going to spread to their borders. So they're using and Ghana wants to keep their alliance with the European with the Western powers while they're acting like they're being Pan African pro black, asking for reparations. That's why the EU didn't vote in that on that proposal because they were in Ghana signing a deal with the Ghanaian government. So so what is doing is basically of course the European Union is trying to keep their influence in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that region because it's a big that Ghanaian the Ghanaian borders, those waters are they're very important trade routes, and now that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Nigeria is moving away from the Western powers, they're afraid that they're going to lose access to those trade routes once they get once that influence that Burkina Faso is building gets down into Ghana. So they're basically using Ghana to sneak back in through the back door to make sure that they maintain control and influence over that region.
They so dirty. They just don't never want their people to get right. They don't want no kind of growth, no power, no nothing. They just greedy. All they
Yep,
care about themselves.
yep, yep. So yeah, it's starting to unravel. So this whole reparations thing, this is like some, of course, this is like some kind of smoke screen for something bigger like that. And of course, um, the reason why they came to America with it is because I just smell the Democratic Party all over this. That's why Al Sharpton was there. The Black Caucus was there. You know what I'm saying? This is the Democratic Party desperate attempt to try to stop this lineage based claim going. I think that's all. This has nothing to do with Ghana trying to become these pro-black Pan-Africans trying to get reparations for everybody. It's just ridiculous.
Right. And that's why these Pan Africans keep letting them come over here doing these rituals, right? And I feel like the rituals that they doing is the ones that's hexing them and making them be like, oh, Africa, Africa, Africa. Like Africa is did you see the way they was acting, Auntie? I just was like, the way they was big up in Africa and kept on slanging that AA word around was crazy. And it's like the Africans had them drinking from they little dirty, I don't know, something like they was really feeding them, like I don't know. It was like they was in a trance or something. Like they really love Africa. And it's like, I don't know what it's like,
Me
but
either.
go over there though or something. I don't know. Stop trying to bring it over here.
I really want that word I be used so I can see the crash outs.
What?
That's bad. Imagine how they're gonna crash.
You want what word move? AA?
Yeah.
What they because they didn't say Black Americans not one time. Didn't they talk all over us and around us, but kept calling themselves grassroots? Talk about the grassroots is here. I'm like,
Yeah.
where? I'm like, oh yeah, it is us four. You right, but you ain't letting us say shit.
Yeah. So Eagles fan 71 says HR 194 government issued a formal policy which brought it about HR 40 in his opinion. I got some links here. I got the New York demand the retraction from Ma'am Danny. Eagles fan says they have him surrounded according to their media. I was researching. Basic did his research just now. Ife says she prays for Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah, so I just looked it up. So they're calling it counterterrorism cybersecurity for the Sahel region, which is definitely Burkina Faso is included in that, and it's against Islamic terrorism or whatever, or terrorism. So yeah, that seems like it's a backdoor to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso did recently make like some type of healthcare deal with the United States. I think it's a lot going on with Africans, and I wonder what they're going to have to say now because what I realized with these Africans is their leaders are they'll say that their leaders are corrupt until their leaders do some corrupt shit to us. These people have been calling their leaders corrupt in all of our conversations, but now everybody is riding with what the Ghanaian um, president just came here and did. They are all supporting it all of a sudden. So now all of a sudden their
Right.
leaders are not corrupt.
Right.
Yeah, I peeped that.
And Auntie, but remember that live I just sent you with the dude Fendi? You know, I know I need to start standing in the hallways of his because they talk a lot. They say a lot of good stuff. That's incredible. People need to be recording his stuff because them all the Africans that want to be nasty and say they little vile things and tell their plans they are. But did you hear the way old girl was like something about Nigeria? Something he was like, "What do you bring up Nigeria for? Nigeria leader is corrupt. They have nothing to do
Wait a
with
minute, the
Ghana."
guy you sent me was Latina. What are you talking about?
No. I'm talking about the one I sent you in the text message. The one with I said, "What? Look at this here." I said that it said the Africans crashing out, and it was like it was the one with old boy Moose when he said he'll put 5 FBA in a body bag at a time. We got to clip that part so we can put because they lying and saying we're threatening them, and I haven't heard the FBA threaten them, but I have heard several Africans say that they will put FBAs in body bags.
They've been saying that, and they want the police to do it too. So FBA Convo wanted to gift you FBA convo in my room, you can't gift because my page is private. They want me to open up my page in order to receive gifts. So if you would like to send her a few dollars to her CA, and my CA is listed in the chat already, yeah. Or you could gift her on another panel. That's always an option because you will see her again after she gets some rest. You know what I'm noticing? For all the shit they talk about the Western countries, they keep selling themselves out. Why is Trump over there getting? First he went to Jamaica, made Cuba leave Jamaica. Thank you, FBA Convo. Made Cuba, interfere with whatever Cuba had going on over there. Now I think he went to Senegal and okay, basic, no problem. Have a blessed day. He went to I think Senegal and was it Burkina Faso for a medical deal. I think there's going to be some experimenting going on too. Why is he going to these international Afro-descendant nations? Because I ain't calling them black, y'all. Right? And then here comes Europe with their security thing. But when you say no, because my page is private and I don't want to open it up and deal with the tethers.
And then the NYPD too. Did you? I mean, if Lacey was saying what was true, if Mandani got the NYPD going over there too and through the front, I saw all kind of.
Thank you, brother. I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know nothing. That shit crazy, Our police officers don't need to be involved in that, and if they do, then they need to stay over there.
Yeah, Lacey, she was saying a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. But I think everybody was trying to get they talk time in and stuff. They protest time in.
So I'm saying these sanctuary cities need to be under control. Even though the mayor do hire and fire, I don't think he should be able to take our officers out the world. Like, for them to be able to leave outside the country, that should have to be a federal decision,
You know that the mayor is pissing me off. Well, not really pissing me off, but there's going to be a lot of people relocating out of New York again. What he did was he promised them that he would expand like the housing voucher thing. But now he came back and was like, it'll be like a couple of billion. It's not worth it, so he's not expanding it. Which means when the voucher system ends, there's going to be a lot of people who may not be able to afford the rent. And where's the affordable housing at in New York? If you don't own your own home, and even that's subjected to go up because I think they want like 50% or something. I don't know. It's getting really weird. They said it's leading to like.
Dang, that's gonna sound like expensive, like Chicago. It sounds like he coming in on his Brandon Johnson stuff already.
I think he's gonna be another Brandon Johnson, but I can't believe that Trump will really allow that. He's a New Yorker, so I don't know. Thank you for the information, FBA soldier. He is a New Yorker. I don't know. This is what the people wanted, and I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing, Keto. Because we've been telling them, and they keep saying FBA is the problem, but
yeah, we keep telling them that. Like, we is not we trying to tell y'all what's going on, and they just like oh no, Trump is the like they not. I'm like y'all tripping. Y'all study want these sanctuary cities around. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, after a while we're gonna have to leave them behind, and we're gonna have to go. Just separate ourselves, like Basic said. That's gonna be the only way we get our economic stuff up. We got to start working amongst each other and let them do their own thing. Get our agriculture up, get everything we need to do. Like, start focusing on us and good health and stuff like that. Because they feeding us terrible. They unaliving us through the food. We got to get a lot of stuff under control. So we just need to focus on ourselves as an economic group amongst foundational Black Americans. That's it.
Yeah. He says that we need to get rid of sanctuary city mayors who causes issues for the FBA communities. Solon Nicole says we are the beautiful people of Austin. I agree. That's crazy, man. We got man dumb. They say it's like he want to turn it into a communist thing. What's worrying me, and I gotta say this, are the MUSLIMS that's openly in the street, walking and praying. Like we have mosques throughout the nations. Well,
Or
not
his
nations,
people.
but
Ooh, what was that? South Carolina. You see that video? I had reposted it. He
yeah,
said, "No, you think this is?" He's like, "No, this South Carolina right now." I said, "Oh, you." But you know what? Even in Flint, I'm not gonna lie. In Flint, it's a little mausoleum, and next thing you know, they not in the streets, but they show is starting in the parking lot. You know, and I told them, I said, "All right, y'all better not let them start coming all down, marching and doing this stuff in y'all." I'm like, y'all better keep on top of this. You feel me? Don't they starting off small, but they looking for that opening. They're gonna be disrespectful, and I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna bloop 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 bloop. Cause what? I beep beep. I told you to move. I'm not. Hey, what? What? If you in the middle of the street, I don't know what you thought. This is the place for roads and bumpers. And if you ain't got one, move.
yes. And Keita, I think for the homework assignment, we might need a Zoom call. But I'm sleepy because the Zoom call allowed me to keep notes and task lists because it does it all itself based off of what we say.
Okay, well, you know, I'm down for a Zoom call because I hate typing anyway. So really, us talking, it work out so much better because ideas just float off, and then we could just like clip it and then put them into bullet points. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I'm starting to yawn. FBA Convo says then Mosque in Dearborn and Hamtramck heavy. Malik says FBA Convo, same thing with Boston, Chicago, and Washington D.C. Full
And
of
now I
energy.
heard about Columbus. I didn't heard about Columbus. I gotta call my uncle. I keep saying that. When I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna call my uncle and ask him what's up with that. But now I'm hearing about Columbus, Ohio. It's obviously South Carolina. We've been to about Dearborn. Now I'm hearing about Ann Arbor or Jackson, Michigan. Two like that's the ones that did that beat up that lady in the store because she stole a bag of chips or something. They beat her with a stick, and it looked like he was ready to try to knock her out across her head with the thing with his ugly little short. That's why I went off on that man like I did, because it was his people that did that. I probably had a flashback of them doing to that to that lady in the store. That's why I don't play with none of these people, right? Yeah, so yeah, it's all of that. We got to get a lot of this under control. It's getting out of hand, really is, and I'm sick of it. And it's bleeding into our small states, our towns, everywhere. So no, we got to nip this in the butt.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, I don't know. Tomorrow, I probably sleep all day if Black American or D don't go live.
You
Basically, so I
know,
can go to
well, you
church.
know, I'm gonna get your notifications anyway. So wherever you at, you know, I'm sliding.
Aw, thank you. What you eating?
Girl, I ain't making me nothing but a rotisserie seasoned breast chicken sandwich and some spinach. And then I'm gonna make it eating some of these little chia and quinoa corn chips.
You over there making a whole damn meal, talking about I ain't making nothing but, and it's a whole laundry list of things you making.
Oh yeah, just right. Just a little sandwich and stuff. I was gonna eat some honey bunches of oats, but my baby drunk all the almond milk, so
So you enjoyed yourself. Hey, let me interview you.
yes, go ahead.
All right. Can you state your name and your title for the audience, please?
My name is Keita, by way of Flint, Michigan, and you said state the
You're
title.
welcome. Yeah, like what field are you in?
I am a certified medical assistant and a certified phlebotomist, and I'm also going to school to become a certified pharmacy tech. But I had to take some time off to take care of my son. So as soon as I'm done with that, my teacher is going to honor me and let me get back in
Hey,
school
J-Hoda.
so that I will be able to complete my certification in becoming a pharmacy tech as well. Because I want to open up my own independent living home for veterans, Black American veterans, I will look to the side, even if they not veterans, as long as they Black Americans. Yes, I am going to be gatekeeping my race. I don't want to take care of other people. Let their people open up things and take care of their people. I want to take care of my own people. So yes, it will be definitely biased. So I hope that's not an issue with things when I do start this business and they wonder why it's only one melanated color. Well, we got light skin, brown skin, dark skin, so it's gonna be shades. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Right? Even a couple
Right.
albinos, right? Maybe so. Who knows? Right? There we go. So, yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I want to do. So I want to use my certifications to be able to hire employees, and I want them to be able to work under my licensing to get their licenses. So maybe they don't have to spend so much and get like loans and mess up their stuff. So I want them to be able to be at my job and graduate with certifications, so they can even go and like work at other places, make more money, or stay with me and grow. So yeah, that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you for
Yeah.
letting me introduce that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Wait a minute. Let me see something.
Yes, definitely a safe place for us. Yes, for us, our people, my people.
I'm on slow on the graphics and whatnot. I gotta really, tighten up.
It's
So,
all good.
Kitty,
Yes. Yeah.
being from Michigan, right?
hmm
How did you find it contrasted to New York City, the city that never sleeps?
And listen, I thought that part was a joke, right? But literally, it's like different shifts of different people. You got your first shift people, you got your second shift people, I'm talking about nothing never closed. I never seen so many stores, everything open late in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh my God, this is really true. This city never sleeps. And it's always people outside there, right? Even in the
Mhm.
daytime, people is in your personal space. In the evening time, people is in your personal space. In the nighttime, you might get a little less, but it depends on where you go. It's going to be people all up in your personal space. So what I learned in from being there is that golly, I appreciate my personal space. And now I understand why you be like, oh, I'm just going home. Because when you're not at home, you don't have any personal space. That's what I learned about New York, which is crazy, right? Crazy. Because that would give me anxiety, social anxiety. Like you don't have nowhere to decompress and compact if you're out and about. Like if you say you gotta work and you gotta be out in the community, you don't have where you can go and just be even in your car, you on alert because all you hear is horns blowing at you all day. You like, damn, like I don't know. Like it's very busy, it's very congested, but it's beautiful as well. So I don't want to be negative, right? Because I'm only speaking on that because it's just overcrowded. But besides the overcrowdedness, New York is very amazing. Like it could be a great experience if it could go back to what it's supposed to be, right? So that's how I feel about New York.
When you say go back to what it's supposed to be, what do you mean by that?
Just like the original people, black and white. And then I don't have anything against immigrants. Let me stop that because I know probably like, oh my gosh, you're such an immigrant hater. Ah! But I probably am a little bit because they so. But I'm just saying, I'm not against immigration. I just feel like immigrants that come to a first world country, right? Because this is a privilege and our ancestors worked very hard for this. And we also want our country to maintain first world. We don't never want to go backwards. If anything, we want to be like the Jetsons of the globe, like we did it first, right? So I would want immigrants that can bring something to the table. Why do you want to be here? Why do we want you in our country? Why do you not want to be at your own country? What is wrong with yours that make you want to flee here? Or let us sort you out because you done something so amazing. We like, dang, we would have an honor of you coming in our country. And guess what? We would appreciate you because we sought you out, right? When you get sorted out, you get much more appreciated because you are what? Of value, right? These immigrants don't want to care about value. They just want to come slum and bum. And that's what I can't respect that about them. And then they had the audacity to judge somebody who been here, who built this. If you don't shut your mouth and stay in your lane, so then that's what be hard for me to just, want them here because as soon as you give them an inch, they take a mile, you know.
Yes, ma'am. So when you what was the purpose for your visit to New York?
Well, my purpose for my visit to New York, I love to travel though. So, right, me having the opportunity to travel, I love it, right? But when I heard what was going on with my people, because like I said, remember me and you had brought it up, but we didn't really get no traction about it. We brought it up, and the something was in our spirit. It was like, dang, because I brought it up again on another platform. You know, people was like, oh yeah, you know. But when we heard Brother Real bring it up, I was like, yes, like, it's a man. And I'm like, yeah, I think we can make some move because now maybe we can get this serious. So I was just like very glad that we was able to like get people to understand what we was seeing, right? And I do believe that about you, aunties, to a certain, whatever it is about you, you can see. You know what I'm saying? That is you.
Right.
And I that's what drew me to you. Like, I'm like, really, like, yeah, like I see you see, like you know what I'm saying, like that. I'm not a seer, but I can tell that you're very special. Okay. So when you noticed what I noticed, and then you was talking about what that was, and I didn't even know that I was hitting around the right thing as far as with the spirituality of it, and the other meaning of it, and what they were trying to do, and so that just made it even more. And then it pissed me off because I just felt like, dang, I don't hear nobody that's us talking about this. Like, why is this our ancestors? You know what I'm saying? Then other people started doing research, and we found out it was indigenous tribes. So at first I thought it was like, dang, indigenous, but then you like, keep it open-minded. It could have been other people. And even if it was indigenous, it was other indigenous tribes. We can't just label it all on one. We have to, know what we're talking about. You don't want to spew things out and then make it seem one-sided. You know what I'm saying? So we always want to give all our ancestors their proper acknowledgement. And that's another thing I respect about you too. Because even though I'll be like, I'm not African, I can't. You be like, oh, wait. You just, we're not. But we have to acknowledge some of us have this, some of us don't. Some of us, so you know what I'm saying? I love the way you outlook stuff. It's opening up my mind a lot more, making sure I'm properly prejudiced. Because I'm gonna always be prejudiced, but I want to be properly prejudiced.
We should
Yeah.
get some merch like that. We should get some merch like that.
That's a properly prejudiced. I like that. Right. So, yeah. So, that my purpose was coming was just to stand on business for my ancestors. Something in my spirit was telling me I needed to be there. I wanted to be there. That it was just meant for me to go, and what I went through, and like Brooke said, I don't know how Keita flew into a closed airport. I don't know how she got there. So where there's a will, there's a way. And I felt like I was led the whole way with picking my room, everything. Just everything went so beautiful that I know I was guided. You know what I mean? So it was just meant for everything that happened. And set
So
me
we
going.
can't really talk strategy, but you was there with me from A to Z. Once Real came and put it out there, and we was like, yeah, we got to do it. From A to Z, even though you did miss one meeting, right?
Yes, ma'am. I missed one.
Yeah, she got her sound in. How did you find the process of organization without giving out too much strategy?
Oh man, it was very organized, and it let me know we can come together like the Transformers, small but mighty. I'm talking about for us to be that small, that quick, and we got the results that we did. It was amazing because I was well taken care of. I couldn't have asked for a better send off, better support, a better family, right? Everything about FBA, I appreciate so much. And I just want us to know when we need to be in the paint and have each other's back, we do. And it's like almost no questions asked to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest, just be open, transparent, and respectful. And everything went amazing. So shout out to our family. Shout out to everybody.
Let's
that
shout out to the
participated.
donors first who got you here.
Yeah, the donors.
Right.
That's what I meant by that. Shout out to the donors. They top
listen.
ones. That's who I was talking about. I just didn't use that word. But the donors is who I'm talking about. If it wasn't for the donors, I wouldn't have made it. Real talk. So the donors are number one.
So let me say this. One is in the chat. Eagles Band Country came in. He did donate a country as ASF. Also Big Ree, Black Love, and Eagles fan. I feel like it was Big Ree, Eagles fan, Country ASF, Ronnie Mac, yeah, Black Love, and Big Stepper brought us lunch afterwards. You got your lunch?
Yes, I got my
Which,
lunch.
yes. If I forgot anybody's name, hey Zandria, please forgive me. But yeah, I believe those were the only donors we had. Oh, and then we had the connection for the car service by
Well, if
Mr.
them was the only
Union.
donors, they did more than enough because they definitely got me where I needed to be. Okay, so
Yeah.
thank y'all.
Yes, that teamwork makes the dream work. Salon says she will have water. So I want to extend my thanks to the people that answered the call. And then when me and Keita said, and then Keita then missed I gave her the Zoom call. She missed it, but okay. She won't
That
miss
was
the
the
next
first one.
one.
I forgot.
I
don't
bet
know
you
what
she
I
won't
was
miss
doing.
the next one.
I won't.
So I want to say, let me say thank you to Keisha Thorough, Black Talk Worldview, Brother Sage, who introduced us to Ruth Brooks.
Hey, what up with that? Am I gonna get my flag? Because I kind of want both of them.
You want the flags?
I want both of them. I don't have Nan. Yes, I do. I feel some type
Will
of
you pay
way.
for shipping because she has
Yes,
them?
I will. I will pay for shipping for both of them. Yeah, put them both in one packet.
Well, I could give you. I'll message her because I do have to message her for something else. But for everybody who was in the Zoom calls with us, so that's Basic, Sister Keisha, Sister Brooke, Brother Divine, Brother Sage, Ruth, of course Simon and Arthur, and everybody who wished us well.
Brooke.
I said Brooke.
Oh, you say Brother Divine?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Auntie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Melrose Radio didn't make it to the meeting. And I'm only saying that because next time, if I decide to step out again, y'all better go make these meetings. But I'd like to thank everybody who answered the call. I knew it was spiritual. I kept focusing on the wreath. And Keita, you could tell, right?
She was so focused on the read, she did not hear us calling her name. She looking at us like, leave her alone. And I'm like, dang, she is doing something important. So we had to leave you alone and let you do your business.
Yeah. And so in the ATR, that was like a floral sacrifice to ask the ancestors for favor. So we did, and tell us about the experience.
And what's that chant that we was doing that made me feel so powerful, like a warrior princess? What was that?
Well, it was one hands off my ancestors.
No, that
that way. Hold on. Because I don't want you to repeat it.
Oh, I don't know how to say it. I'm not even saying it right now. I don't know.
No, you're not. No. But I don't want them finding it on video, but it was our
ancestors. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
I can tell you, it was our ancestors. Our ancestors knew what we were saying.
Man, it felt powerful.
Very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all, I don't know. I think whatever they was spewing, it must have got inside of me because I was transcended into the disrespectful. I couldn't shut up. I don't know. I couldn't control. I don't know. The experience was like surreal. It was like so much because we couldn't get over there and they wouldn't let us to our people. We had to just use our voice and we just carried our voices from where we was. And they couldn't rock with us. Everybody heard what we said. We disturbed that whole scene. We made everybody over there uncomfortable. Every last person that sat their stinky tails over there, having the audacity to touch my people, we made all of them uncomfortable, and I loved it. Everything about it went well. Everybody skedaddled. You could tell they was not comfortable, unsure of themselves, feeling dumb, embarrassed, ready to get down, didn't know what was going to happen because of the way they left. They left. They didn't even say bye to each other. You feel me? They hurried up and skedaddled inside with their scary tails.
Can you tell everybody why Unk, Cool Water, Rock, all same person, right? Different names, different platforms. Those who are closer to him and are, oh wow, privileged to have his insight, right? He wanted what, 1,000 bodies out there? Do you
Yep.
remember?
Yep. He said, "Ooh, if we could," he said, "I mean, I want as many as we can, but if we can get 1,000," he was hoping 500, 200.
And
And
what did I
we,
say, Keita?
you said, "No, well, I don't know. I think we should just go with a smaller group, because we don't know everybody's, what their purpose would be. I just want to keep it kind of more focused on the ceremony, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that." So you just wasn't really feeling a big crowd because you just like, well, where they gonna come from and how we gonna organize that fast? You know what I'm saying? You wanted it to be done right where nobody would get in trouble because they was already ready to get the dogs on us. They had called the Homeland Security, the FBI. I'm like, dang, we didn't even make the quota that you got to get a permit for because you got 25 and less. You don't have to have no kind of permit. So we wasn't even at 25, and baby, you would have thought we was at 1,000 the way they was preparing security out there. It was like, I was like, okay. But I
Yes.
didn't really care though. I felt like they couldn't mess with us. And they couldn't though, right? Because we didn't do anything wrong. We protest properly, our voice was heard, and our message got across. Whatever we said, it wasn't enough for them to be able to counter or go against it because everything we saying was true. And I think everybody that was down there, they felt that. Even the people that was walking by, they felt it. They looked like, what is we walking into? Yeah, a awakening, baby. You know what I'm saying? We here for our people, and we ain't playing about them. So yeah, that whole area was, our ancestors was there. You know what I'm saying? We took over that block.
Yep. So Solange Nicole has some insight. She says, as a person who was, I guess a couple of the protesters had went live, and she says, when I heard BX, my soul relaxed. But Keita, you cracked me up. Your voice is boom. And that was the whole message. Now, when they finished the ceremony and they all skedaddled, and we went to go to the federal grounds where they had the wreaths, and we wanted to place our flowers and pour our libations. What happened and how did that make you feel? She might have stepped away, y'all. You're on mute if you're talking, Keita.
Oh shoot. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I was talking. I thought I had pushed the button. I said they treated us like we were dirty little bum savages, like we had the ooby jooby coobies. Like if we went over there, we would desecrate or do something to our people, right? They would not let us in. They were acting very weird and protective. But luckily, we had that one sister who was a part of the group, and she was able to get over there and get in there and do some stuff that we couldn't do. But I'm gonna tell you what, my auntie did what she could do where she was at. She said, okay, you won't let me up in here. I'm gonna do it right here. So we was able to still get our stuff down. Simon poured his, auntie poured hers. She did her prayers. She laid the flowers. She did her counters. So even though we had a hard time, guess what we don't do? We don't give up. We prevail, and we're gonna make a way out of no way. So even though we couldn't kick over those reefs or move them out the way or do something to them because they was protecting them like demon warlock warriors looking out there looking dumb. You could tell it was whole demonic thing, right? Because they needed to let it set and they couldn't let nobody touch it, right? That's why I hope that when the sister got in there, anything she did transcended, like just moved the whatever they was trying to do, just distorted, right? So they was just treating us like we was nothing, But I can say that they didn't trip like they could have tripped because even with Auntie pouring it, they could have been like, oh, you can't pour it, So what they did do was leave us alone to where we was at. They did leave us alone, So I can say that I won't make it seem like everything was a challenge, but it was a challenge. But we did get to accomplish some of the things we wanted to.
So what happened was, Keita's right. They wouldn't let us go in. Well, we got somewhat on the federal ground, and a big burly cop came over, a federal officer, I guess you could say, and he was like, "This is federal grounds. You can stand across the street." And he's like, "But these are our ancestors. You let them do it. This is federal grounds, and it's called, you know." And so we went outside and we just stood right there by the burial ground, right there. Um, and he seemingly, I think he left, and it was just the park rangers, I guess, who were cleaning, because that's the National Park Service on federal ground, right?
Yes.
And I think that for the most part, something in them was softer than what was on him. And so I was kind of nervous to go ahead and pour my libations and stuff, right? Because it was federal ground. And they were acting so, you know. But the bouquet of flowers I had some really pretty red roses. They were already prepared from the night over. I raised their frequency and everything, girl. I was in here. Remember when I was like, Keita, you know, I can see you in the morning. I got some other
Yeah.
stuff to do. Yeah, I was raising the frequency of the flowers,
Okay.
and stuff like that. And they kept falling over onto the actual burial ground. And I kept picking them up. And then the last time I picked them up, I laid them there. I said, "You stay there now." And then I seen Simon pour his libations. And I said, "Oh," and the flowers fell. I said, "You know what? My ancestors want these daggone flowers. Let me pour my libations and pray." Then I had the Sahara's flowers, and I had another concoction with me. Hoodoo, of course, can't give away the elements, but it was something to make them happy, more sweet, stuff like that, right? And so what I did was I dipped a little bit of her flour in the concoction and put it on the site too. Yeah. And then I prayed. Yeah, I stood back, I prayed. And then I got real cold, had to use the bathroom, y'all. So I didn't get to, cut up with Simon and D. Sahara to the train station. I was like, we gotta get in a lift. But I was so proud of myself. I didn't have to go to the bathroom during the whole protest. But yeah, it was a very powerful time. When Uncle was saying 1,000 bodies, I was like, okay, we could try. And then something in me was just like, no BX. Keep it small. And what was y'all think about this now. The phrase or the affirmation in my mind was small but mighty.
Oh, I was just thinking of small but mighty.
See? And to me, this was historical, right? Do you see the responses? Everybody's videos is good. I didn't even put my footage out yet. I'm looking at everybody else's.
Right. And for us to be that small, for the impact that we did, for us to shake that, for them to not be able to play their recording because we was so loud. They couldn't even play their whole ceremony. They had to block pauses in it because we was loud, rumbling through there. Yeah.
It should be some type of, pieces of protest if we got to protest at burial sites, because I don't know. It was good. I'm still tired. Y'all still hear my voice, and I'm going to keep that in mind. Small but mighty. And I even liken it to when David beat Goliath. Not that resolutions was stopped as a whole, but what America, the representative for America, said to the Ghanaian nationals president was so powerful that it opens the doors for us. Why see people go around and say, "You act like victims, you act like victims"? The American representative said to them, although you may have some historically distant relation to the victims,
That's what he said. When I
Right.
heard that word, my little deer, you know how deers, they put their little things up, ding, 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 ding. My little things went up.
Then when they said, well, there's some fake news, Trump loved saying fake news, that when Trump said fake news, what the representative said, that he has a problem with the black community, he is working. Did he say working with or working for them?
Working with for he said he's working for them or he's done several things for the black Americans.
Okay. So we could say that's when he declared National Black History Month and stuff like that. But Trump has always promised to fund our communities, correct?
Correct.
Keita?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And I got to tell you, I got a suspicion. All of this getting rid of putting, I see your question, Solon. Let me get this out though. All this getting rid of everybody, he doesn't want to pay the wrong people. He don't feel they deserve it. I think part of it will help lead to our repair. And though I gotta admit, I don't think he may call it reparations.
Me neither. He gonna call it the Trump something, the Trump kickback or something. He gonna put a name on it.
The Trump kickback. Um, Right. So that's what I take along with me. I just wanted our side out there. Like, I don't have my footage out there. You don't have your footage out there. You got your pictures. You look really lovely.
That's why I put that song in front of his tower with our flag with his little last name in it. You feel me? Trump. You see this Black Heritage flag. What's up? You see you know what I'm saying? You said you was our homie. Now don't play us, right? You see
Yeah.
me give you these big ups, letting you know I will use my voice. I don't care what they say my voice sounds like. I will use my voice. My voice is powerful. Do you hear me? You better connect with this power if you want to be the greatest president of this country. Don't lose your gift. God gave you a gift, Trump. You better use it.
Ashe. And so this is what I want to say. I kind of wanted to touch on the spiritual side of it. You heard the chants, right? It was our ancestors' language. Everybody said we don't got a language. The ancestors had a few languages. And we also have our own language if you take Black American Vernacular English, aka Ebonics, because we ain't calling it African American anymore. And then me and Keita had an adventure at another location the day after the parade. But that's what y'all gotta wait for because that is gonna dictate our next work. And I do have some active email campaigns that I should have clipped to my clipboard, but I just went live spontaneously today. But I have them tomorrow. What it is saying in here is my desires, right? Also known as going to be known as my demands. Hopefully you'll get on board and sign it. We're not a part of it. The U.S. already said they're maybe distantly related to us, and they're not the victim. So they don't have a right to anything, right?
Right.
That we could ask for. That I'm gonna add that
Anything,
in.
nothing we ask for. Whatever they
Right.
get from us is what we give them because we like, but right now we don't need to give them shit because they didn't got enough. So right, I'm at the point I'm not looking for no kind of nothing with them. Get out the way and move and go home.
Go on. Move. Get out the way. But let me
Move.
say
Get
this
out the way.
again. So the email campaign, the one that I just did, demands our ethnic autonomy. They are not, as they continue, and we can't stop them for asking for reparations from other people, but they
No.
cannot tether on to our history, use our collective net worth as some standard. They can't do shit, can't claim our 55,000 patents, our music genres, and
Our
since it's
artifact,
not
none of our artifacts that he tried to take and put them, I don't know, he ain't and put them in some dirty dungeon. No, he will not. He will not touch
so
our ancestors' things.
right. And I also demand that they keep it off of it's international now. That's an international issue. Take your hearings out of America. Go
Yep.
international with it. And I
Yep.
also spoke on Yvette Clarke's pillaging our civil rights movements for her people that she has actually gotten tangibles for and goes silent on us. So it's a pretty good, well thought out letter. And it's going to go to Trump, the vice president. It'll go to my, my government, the United Nations, and some more key politicians. So I really believe in paper trails
Mm-hmm.
and things of that nature. So I have more email campaigns coming up. I hope y'all will sign and share the same way y'all have been doing. And I think that's it. Tomorrow I'll come. Wait a minute. What time would you? Do you want me to come back tomorrow? Will you be able to
Yeah,
join?
yeah.
Or should I
I'm
come
gonna
back
be up, so
Tuesday?
it'd be better to come tomorrow. It don't matter. I got my earpiece, so I'll be able to connect. You know what I'm saying? That once he doing his treatment, we be in a room by ourselves silently. So we be good.
Yeah. So we did find out something such as even though the U.S. said no to them, they do have plans for Juneteenth because other countries have said yes to them. Um, so they plan on having Juneteenth in Texas, from Texas to Ghana, and of
Oh,
course
Lord.
4K. They're doing something in New York, but I'm going to focus on Al Sharpton first.
Yeah.
I pretty much got a feel for it. For me, everything is spiritual. I go with everything spiritually.
And that's a part of my homework assignment because you told me to do something. So I gotta, I came up with, basically what you asked me to do. So
Good. Thank you. We'll talk about it, but Auntie needs to get some rest. I probably find
yeah.
a live to plug my phone in, listen to, and just fall asleep in the chat. I'm trying to kind of stay off the panels. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of going at people. And I really want to get my email campaigns going and find out what's the next step and advocacy for the lineage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Akita right there is my right hand. She be doing the homework. I love that for us, the
For
lineage.
us, the
Yes, for
lineage. Mm-hmm.
us. And
Yep.
so, if you had to change anything in the way that it was organized, you don't
What's
have to
April
go.
1st? Was Andrew said? Don't forget about April 1st. What's April 1st?
Ooh, tell us, comment it. Yeah, y'all gotta remind Auntie sometimes because I got so much. You see what I be doing, right?
Oh, and then somebody said, "How can we change name back on the burial ground?" Well, what we doing now, and once we get movement, and once we get our own protect, like once we get acknowledged as our own, I think we're gonna be able to change that immediately. Once we can get a word rid of Africa connected to us, we're gonna be able to change that immediately and take it back to Negroid. You know, the original, because that's what they are, Negroids, all different shades, flavors, and whatever shapes and sizes and colors and everything. But they're Negroes, all of them, and that's that. What you think about that, MT? Right, Negro?
Yeah, it was named since the 1700s. It was named the Negro Burial Ground, and that's the name it's gonna go back to.
Yeah, I'm a proud Negroid, so I love being a Negroid.
So I don't know why anybody would want to change it from Negro, but you know,
Yeah,
just
we
when
can't
we
worry
think,
about the because
yeah,
they
okay,
gonna get what it is, and that's what they's on their birth certificate. So guess what? That's what it's gonna be. Shout out.
okay, yeah, shout out. So I just want to once again thank all the donors. I'm gonna thank Brooke, Keisha, Melrose, Sage, Brother Divine, Basic, Simon, Arthur. Was there any? Is there any? Oh, Miss Ruth. And you, Keita.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, just don't forget to tell her I will pay for the shipping. I will cash app you the shipping, and you can send it to her. Yeah, but I want my flags. Thank you, both of them.
Okay. Hi, Rufus. Hi, Miss Sweet. So on that note, I plan to come back tomorrow morning with another echo chamber and FBA safe space. The topic will be either an update or economics. And you're gonna do one of your old homework assignments, Keita.
I will.
You said.
I do another woman. And basic, don't forget your homework tomorrow. No excuses.
Yes, and so, thank you to everybody who is so moved by the protest. Everybody did their part. Whatever their part was, they did it, and people even took off from work. There have been some naysayers, I gotta say that. And I'm trying not to focus on the naysayers, so I'm gonna tell
I
everybody
know.
what
I ain't
they
been able to
said.
hear none of them because I know they was talking about me. So.
No, they literally wasn't. It's my nemesis, right?
Oh, okay. I thought they
So
were talking
I'm
about my
sure.
yelling and stuff. Like, oh, you want
Listen,
protection?
you.
Or...
Let me tell you something. No, we love that. I
Oh,
mean, it's
okay.
like I love Keita. I love Keita. But here's the thing for me. I tell everybody, we are not a monolith. You find people with your passion and you go make it work for you. Because we pretty much have the same goal, and that's reparations. So, foundational Black Americans stick to our Emancipation Day, 1870. And if you with the whole take Black off our ethnonym and you want to be just indigenous, I'm starting to think y'all really got to go to the BIA. Because y'all just doing too much. The claim is for slavery. So I don't
Because I'm
understand.
proud to be a descendant of slaves. I know everybody wasn't a slave, but guess what? They was prisoners of war. It's the same thing, right? Being a prisoner of
Yeah.
war is the same thing as a slave, like going to prison. Like we're gonna tell you what you can do. Yeah, you have some more freedoms than this one over here a little bit, because we'll probably allow you to live on your land, but this land is ours. You're gonna work it for us. You don't own anything. You're a prisoner of war in your own home, right? That is slavery, stupid, right?
You
So
heard it here first.
exchange it for what? We're the same thing. Even as a freedman, to a certain extent, you only had certain rights as a freedman, right? Because you were a
Right.
Negroid freedman. You was not a so-called Anglo-Saxon white tea freedman. I mean, whatever they want to be, right? You still had rules even as a freedman. You had to be careful, right? Because they would
Right.
try to take your life because they were mad you were free.
Right. So here's the thing. And I think a lot of them are cosplaying Caribbeans and Latinos anyway. So Pan American Indianism is just as harmful as Pan Africanism if you let both of them have their way. Foundational Black Americans wouldn't get nothing if they both had their way. But look, Africa is not our voice. Neither are the Caribbean. See my
Caribbeans.
signs there on the front?
Yes.
Africa is not our voice. Shout out to Simon, Brother Theory, who has always been there for me. Even when I feel under attack, he's the one that lifts me up and takes me somewhere else so that I feel protected. Meaning, from TikTok to Twitter, I'm back on TikTok. Not that I felt unsafe on Twitter. Everybody came over here and got on my goddamn nerves. But this is more of a safe space for me than any other place will ever be at this time. But I'm bigger than TikTok, y'all. I want to go to YouTube, but I'm not bigger than the program.
I
So
want
I'm
to
gonna
get
take
to
some of
our
y'all to
own
YouTube
Black
with me
national
too.
news. I want to get to YouTube too, but it's
Don't give
still
no. Don't give no. We gotta
okay,
do
because YouTube
meetings.
got
Don't give no
restrictions
names.
too.
Huh?
YouTube got restrictions too. No, I just said I want to eventually get to our own news where we control.
I got the idea. I got the
Oh
idea.
yeah,
We're gonna
I
need a
wasn't even
Zoom
gonna say
call.
okay, girl, let me shut
So
up.
I think when I wake up, I'll call you and see if you want to jump on the Zoom call or if you want to plan one for later on during the week.
Okay, well, I'm probably willing to do, once we get some rest, because I'm gonna try to get some rest, but I'm gonna hear something and be like, ping.
Yeah, that's always the case, ain't it? It's always the case.
Yes, yes.
But yeah. So any final words for this live, Keita?
No, I think this was a successful. Shout out to Solon, Nicole in the comments, girl. Comment warrior. We always love those. You must be at work because I think you probably had a good voice. You know what I'm saying? I would like to hear it, but it's cool. I
I
understand we
heard
gotta
you.
clock them dollars because we can't let that money make us. We gotta make that money. Yeah. So no, I don't really have nothing to say. I'm just on the FBA high. Can't nobody take me down. You know what I'm saying? we winners, and that's it.
Oh, she said tomorrow. You want to come up tomorrow, Solon? Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Let's be surprised. Just make sure you have your homework done. And if y'all coming tomorrow, y'all don't have to do no big dissertation, but make sure, and she says, yes, yay, now I gotta go live. No excuses. Make sure y'all have a powerful Black American woman or a power couple that you would like to talk about tomorrow. And would like to say Africa is not our voice. Hands off our
Hands, that's our
ancestors.
ancestor, and neither is the Caribbeans is our voice, right? If you're not
Right.
foundational to this soil, if your parents, I mean, if your lineage does not trace back to chattel slavery, you are not our voice.
At all. And hands off our ancestors. I did that. It came from the soul, y'all. It was heart wrenching. So
Yeah.
hands off our ancestors. Like,
Hands off. You
yeah, you see why my voice
violators.
is like that, right?
You
Yeah.
violators.
You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know. So I want to say all divine honors to the great ancestor Eleanor Bumpurs. It's with her in mind that we will try to draft an anti-HATE crime bill and a anti-police brutality bill. Does that sound right?
That's the
Because police
anti-police brutality, because that's what it is. They are brutal out here, and it's time for them to get it together. Yes, anti-brutal police brutality bill. Yes, that's a tongue
right.
twister, but yes, that is correct.
And although it happened in New York, we do understand that it happens throughout our nation. We're not
Yes.
safe from police brutality or brutality behind the walls by the correction officers. So we're coming up with some really cool things, some really good email campaigns, some demands. Okay, I have to get in the habit of saying demands without feeling as if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying demands. We are making demands, and that is not a tourism, right? Because they might be like, "What is this black woman making demands for?" So I'm comfortable with saying that we're making some demands, not requests. And
Man.
reparation is a debt owed to our ancestors that is to be paid in full to us, and that's a demand, not a request.
And
Yeah.
no more studies. Study is done. The test is ready. We ready to take the test. We don't need to study no more. You study any motherfucking more, we gonna forget what we studied, okay? We already studied out, okay? We have the answer and solution. We don't need your studies. We're gonna show you, right? So we're gonna teach these white tea people what they don't know. Obviously, it's called genealogy. So we're gonna teach them something about that, because when you ask white tea people who are they are confused, right? So we probably need to lead them like we taught them how to wipe from front to back and brush their teeth and put on deodorant and shave their backs and, cut their hair and,
All right,
get
all
the
right,
dirt.
all right. Don't get my live taken down now
Oh,
with
I'm
all of that.
sorry. I was just
This
saying the
still
thing. That's
TikTok. This ain't
educational.
Twitter now.
That's educational purposes only. We did teach those things. TikTok allegedly,
Yeah.
we're just trying to educate, right? So we're going to teach them how to find out who they are, right? So we're going to lead by example. And when we show them the key, it's going to be nothing that no study can tell us, right? Because we're bigger than the study. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of studying. I'm ready to take the test.
That is such a big, yeah, take the test. I'm ready for the passing grade.
Great, right? I'm just saying because we didn't study for so long. I'm just like, where the test? The test is here go my paperwork.
Oh, yo,
Bow,
we studied so
certified.
long, we don't need the test. Just cut the check. Cut
Just cut
the
the check.
check. Look.
Cut the
We
check.
up here
Cut
protesting on the
the
video.
check.
And Nicole is telling us, Salon is telling us, girl, go to sleep. I just want to acknowledge Eleanor Bumpurs and her daughter again. They are very beautiful. And so, all divine honors. I'm going to say this: peace, love, light, and reparations to my foundational Black Americans and those of the lineage who could identify as such, but just don't for one reason or another. But you got to be of the lineage. So,
Yep.
be one family.
Be one.
Yep, I love us for real. Peace.
Peace.